Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Now in our C playlist we are going to see about one important topic, that is pointer. I hope up to functions you have had some clarity. So I hope you understood all the topics which we have taught. So if you have any doubts, so let me see in the comments. So don't hesitate to ask doubt. So now we are going to see about pointers in C. So basically what is a pointer? A pointer is a variable that stores the address of the another variable. So address means what? In heap area, for every variable we have one address, right? So our pointer will point to that address, right? So see here we have one example like int a equal to 10 and then int the star p. So this is called a pointer variable, right? So this star represent pointer. Understood? So I am storing in one pointer variable my address of a, right? I am storing this address a to a pointer, right? So see, I have a equal to 10, right? And I am writing another integer pointer and variable that stores the address of that variable, right? Equal to address of a, right? So this means what? This is address of an variable, right? This means this p is a variable that stores address of that variable, right? This variable. Then this total will be represent to the value stored in that address. Understood? So value stored in that address. So this will store the 10 in it. So when we print like star p, it will give us 10. That means it will goes to this address. So in our heap area we have a, right? So it has some address like in hexadecimal value BM01. Let's think, okay. So this P we have, right? This P will store this BM01 address, right? So when we call this star P, that is pointer, it will goes to this address, right? This will goes to this address, and what we have stored in it? It will goes to this A address, and it will take and come this 10 value and then print here. Understood? So don't worry if you doesn't understood. You will see more examples, more explanation, then you will get, okay? So this is how the pointer is running, right? So first, this is our pointer variable and this is whole stores the value of that pointer, right? So when we store one address, so this A address will be stored in that P. So when we write the star, the whole thing will have the value. Star P stores the 10 in it, right? Understood? So when we print like printf, integer only we are going to print, right? Star P, it will goes to this address and it will take this 10 and print here. So your output will be 10. Understood? So now, why we need this pointer, right? So why we need this pointer? Because for the memory allocation, and while we using function, we seen examples, right? we are passing the arguments like int a, int b. We are not passing the original variable, right? So using this pointer, we can pass the argument by reference. So by reference means what? We are passing by our arguments to the address, and the function parameters will get it by the reference. We will send it by address and it will taken as the reference, right? Then we are going to use these pointers in some data structures, work with strings and arrays, right? So the pointers will work in every functions and array strings data structure. Understood? So then we are going to see how to declare an pointer and how to initialize an pointer, right? So first, how we are going to declare the pointer? Same as the variable, like int a, int b we are declaring, right? Same as int star p, char star c, float star f. So understood, this star symbol is the represent the pointer. Understood? So this star symbol is represent to the pointer. So now how we are going to initialize the pointer? So to initialize the pointer, first we need one variable, the common variable initialization. Then we want to create one pointer and we want to initialize it with the address of that variable, right? So when we want to initialize one pointer, first we need to initialize one normal variable, right? Then you need to initialize pointer using int, then star pointer variable name, and then what address it should hold, like address of x, or if we have like y, then address of y, right? So this is how we are going to initialize an pointer. So what here will have? This 10 will be stored in that star p, right? This p will store the address of this x, and this pointer symbol will be have the value of 10. So basically when you write the star p, it will store the value. It will get the value. Understood? This p only stores the address. So when you write here the symbol, this will go to this address and get the value of that variable. Understood? So you cannot initialize like something int, then star p, and downside you cannot write like this, okay? So this will throw you some error. So the correct way to initialize is this method. Understood? So how we are going to access value using this star symbol? I have already said you, right? This symbol represent the value. So when we write the star and then the variable of pointer, it represent the value inside that address of that variable, right? So I already said you, right? So here I am having one variable like a equal to 10, and in one pointing variable I am storing the address of this a. So how we are going to access this value? So when we want to print it, we are just going to write star p. Understood? So here %d. So when we write this, we are going to access this a value. I already said you, right? This p stores the address of this a, right? So this address will be stored in this p, and when we write this symbol, so it will get the value from this address, right? This address, and 10 will be stored in that star p, right? Basically pointer p. So when we print that star p, it will print 10 here. Understood? So I hope you understood up to this. So now we are going to see how to find the pointer size, right? So pointer size depends on the system architecture, not any data type. So if you want to see what size the pointer holds, so just you need to write the printf, then our percentage. We have one format specifier for this, that is percentage %nu, right? That will get the size of that particular pointer. So see size of, and then integer pointer, right? Integer pointer. So this will get the size of that pointer. So if that is 32 bit means we will get 4 bytes. If it is 64 bit, we will get 8 bytes. Understood? So now we will see one example, like creating, declaring, initializing pointer, and we are going to access that. Okay. So first we want to declare one variable, right? Okay, I will initialize 20. Okay, how we are going to store it in a pointer variable? Integer, then star, then one variable name. I am keeping it as n. What I am going to store here? Ampersand symbol, that is address. Which variable address we are going to store? A variable, right? Then if you want to access those pointer value, what we are going to do? Printf and then %d. And how we are going to access those variable? Address of, star of n, right? So this will give us the value. So it will give 20, right? So if I run this, so see we have got here 20. Understood? So wait, we will get the number from the user and then we will assign it to the pointer. So int n, okay, then scanf %d and then address of n, right? So then I am assigning it to the pointer. So int star and then p equal to, I am going to store the address of n, right? Then we are going to print the pointer value. How we are going to print? %d, then value of that variable, that is star p, right? So here what we will get? If I give the n as 30, the n as stored 30, right? So the address of n will be stored in this p, and when we write star p, it will return a value that is 30, right? So see, it is asking me for the input. I am giving 50. So see, here we have got 50. Understood? So this is how we are going to initialize and declare the pointer, and we are accessing it. Understood? So we will move on to the next. I hope up to this you have got cleared. So next we are going to see about the null pointer. So null means what basically? Null means that is a garbage value. There is nothing in it, right? So a pointer that pointers to nothing is known as null pointer, right? So if example int star p equal to null, right? So this is how we are going to initialize null pointer. Int star p equal to null. If we are going to print it means, how we are going to access it? Just like we have seen right now, star p. But you will not get null. Instead you will get some garbage address value, right? Because null is nothing, right? So when you access it, it will give you some garbage address access, like some numbers, negative numbers, so it will return some like that. So for safety checks, you can write like this also: if that address of our pointer p is not equal to null, then print the value of that pointer. So I already said you, right? So the star p means it represents the value of the pointer, right? So next we have pointer arithmetic. That means we have some operations in it. So see, first we have p plus 1. So that means it will move on to the next memory location. So if my pointer, it will basically works in arrays and strings, okay? So when you get going to start pointers in array, we will see how it is working, right? So p plus 1 means it will move on to the next memory location. In array we have continuous memory location, right? So if we start from the first 0th index memory location, so when we do this p plus 1, it will go to the first index, that is new memory location, next memory location, right? So if we again do p plus 1, it will move on to the next memory location, that is second index, right? So again p plus 1 means now it will move on to the third index, that is next memory location, right? So the second operation is p minus 1, right? So p minus 1 means, so see here we have one array, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So then don't get confused. We will learn this pointers and array in upcoming. So first my pointer will hold to our first index, that is 0th index, right? So assume that we have one pointer variable that storing the address of this array, right? So first my pointer is storing to this pointer variable, stores to this index, 0th index. And what if I want to access that 5? So just star p, right? Star p means first it will store to this address, right? That is first index address. Then if I write star p means it will print me 5. So what if I want to print all this number using pointer? So here comes that operation. So when I write p plus 1, so when I write p plus 1 here and I bracket this and give the star value. So what it represent? Now p is in 0th index, right? So p is in this 0th index. So if I do p plus 1, it will point to this first index. So it will move on to the next memory location. So it is in this memory location. So when I do p plus 1, it will move on to this memory location, right? And when I access this pointer, it will print the 6, right? And if again I increment the p, that is p plus 1, now it will move on to the next memory location, that is 7, and it will print me 7, right? And again move on to the next memory location, it will move on to this location, right? And it will print me 8. So until the end of the array, right? So this is how the p plus 1 works, right? So we have another operation like p minus 1, right? So that means moving to the previous memory location. See, if my location is currently I had my location in like 5, okay? My p is here. So I want to print these values. So what I want to do? I want to go to the previous memory one by one, right? So first p minus 1, then star. What this star means? It is used to store the value of the address variable, right? So if we print this p, just star p, we will get this 5, right? If I print star p minus 1, it will move on to the previous memory location, that is 4, and it will print 4, right? And again if I do p minus 1, it will move on to the previous memory location, that is 6, then it will print 6. So again previous memory and it will print 5, right? So this is how the previous memory location operation looked like. Understood? Right? I hope you understood this. So we have like increment and decrement, right? Like increment and decrement. So this also same only. So when we do p plus 1, it is incrementing 1 by every memory location, right? So it is same like this. So here we have plus 1 written, right? So here we need to return that plus 1. We are just incrementing. So first the pointer will points to 0th index and it will move on to plus means it will move on to this index and then this index. If minus means first this memory location and this previous this location and then previous this location. Understood? So this is what our pointer arithmetic, right? So we have one example. Wait, we will see. So I have one integer array like 10, 20, 30, right? So defaultly I am storing my array in one pointer, address of array. So this is how you are going to store one array in pointer. Understood? I hope you understood the syntax. I forgot to write a square bracket. Understood? So this is how you are going to store one address in pointer. So defaultly the pointer will points to the first element, that is 0th index element, right? So the pointer now points to this element, right? So I am going to access this element, that is 1. So what we are going to do? We are just going to increment my pointer by 1, right? So star then p plus 1. What it represents? It will move on to the next memory location, that is 1. Understood? So now in my output screen I will get 1. So here we have 20, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. So here I will get 20. Right? Understood? So if I write here p plus 2, then see I am having 10, 20, 30, 40. So I am having here my pointer in first value. So p plus 2 means it will first move on to this memory location and then again to this memory location. So p plus 2 means p plus 2, 1, 2, right? So in my output screen I will get 30. Understood? I hope you understood this. So now we will move on to the next topic, that is pointers and arrays, right? So in our pointers and array, the array name is a constant pointer. So when you are storing the array in pointer, you don't want to use the ampersand symbol. You can directly store the variable name, that is array variable name. See I am declaring one array like int array of 5 and then I am giving 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right? So int star p equal to array, right? So our array name is constant pointer, so we don't want to use here ampersand symbol. Understood? Still we can print the value from our array. So we have previously seen, right, how to print the elements from the array. So just start, and then I am going to print this 30. So what? It is in second index, right? So p plus 2. What it will print at? First our pointer will be access to this element, right? Then it will move to the next memory location, that is 20, and that will move to this the 30, and we will have 30 in it, right? So see here we have got 30. So wait, I will run this new screen. So if I run this, so see here we have got 30. Understood? So I hope you understood this. So now we will see accessing the array elements using pointer in a for loop. We are going to print all the elements from the array using pointers. So how we are going to do? First we want one array, right? So int array of 5 equal to 20, 33, 44, 5, 66 and 12. Right? So we have write a 6 element. Okay, so first we need to store it one pointer, right? So int star p equal to just array. Because array is a constant pointer, we don't need to write ampersand symbol. So how we are going to print array elements using loop? For int I equal to 0, I less than, here we need to find the length, right? So here I know the size, I am writing here 5. You need to find the length, right? I hope you have understood how to find the length, and I hope you know that. How we are going to find? Just length equal to size of array by size of one element. Let me write that. Length equal to size of array divided by size of array of 0, right? So length, then I plus plus. So printf, we are going to use pointer and we are going to print it. How we are going to print? Star and then pointer variable, then plus. We want to increment, right? I am going to write here I. So first what will happen? The I will be 1 and p plus 0, that will be 0, right? So first it will print the 33. Then I will become 1 and p plus 1, it will move on to the next memory location, that is 44, right? So I will run this. So see here we have got 33, 44, 55, 66, 12. Understood? I hope you understood this, how we are going to access the array element using pointer. So next, here you cannot write here you can use star p increment, right? This will also work. So we will see that. So see here we have got 33, 44 again. So see, this is previous output, this is the new output. So here you cannot write like array plus plus. Understood? So here you cannot write array increment. We are going to use pointers, right? If you increment the array, it will not print the element. Understood? So it will print some random addresses. So now we are going to see about pointer to pointer, that is double pointer, right? So what is mean by double pointer? So single pointer means we will use only one pointer, right? So double pointer means we will use two pointers in it. So we will see one example. So see, first I am storing here one variable, that is a equal to 50 I am storing. So first what we are going to store in our single pointer, address of this variable, right? Address of this variable. Then how we are going to use double pointer? Again I am initializing one pointer, that is double pointer. The 2 times star represent the double pointer, right? Equal to what we are going to store in it? Address of the first pointer, address of that single pointer, right? So what will happen here? Here the variable should be named. I am printing PP. You can take any names. M. Okay. So if I access the A, that means print A, it will print 50. And I am print star P, it will also print 50. And I am accessing star double pointer M, it will also print me 50. Understood? So what is happening here? First, this P, right? This P stores the address of this A variable, right? Address of this A variable. Then while we are accessing this using, we are accessing, right, star P, so it will have the address of this A, right? Now here we can have 50 in it. Then again we are initializing one pointer, right? What that is? Double pointer. So double pointer will stores the address of the single pointer. So it will stores this single pointer address in this variable. So this M will stores the address of the single pointer, and this star M will get the value of that single pointer. What we have in our single pointer? 50, right? So first it will move on to this, and it will go to this, it will move on to this address, and finally it will goes to and it will print 50 in all. Understood? So I hope you understood how this double pointer is work, right? So this double pointer will store the single pointer value. This single pointer variable will store the address of the normal variable, and it is taking it and printing it. Understood? So we use this double pointer in 2D arrays and modifying the pointers again. In that times we will use this double pointer. Understood? So now we are going to see call by value versus call by reference. So I already said, right, the pointer will used in functions while we passing the arguments and parameters in it. So you will see the difference with pointers and without pointers. Understood? So see, first we are going to create one function. Void swap. We are going to swap two variables. Okay, first let it be. So for swapping the two variables, what we need? First we need two variables, right? So I am taking int A and B. Right? I am going to take this function void because I am just going to send this variable to this swap function, and it is just swapping it. So there is no returning anything, right? So using scanf, I am going to get those values. Ampersand symbol A and then ampersand symbol B. Right? So then what we are going to do? We are going to swap it. So printf before swap. I am taking those two variable A comma B. Before swap how it is. Understood? And then after the function is called, that is swapping is happened. Here what we are going to pass the arguments A comma B, right? We are going to pass this A and B and we are going to see whether the element is swapped or not, right? So then after swapping, what is our variable we will see, right? Understood? So now in my function what I am going to do, I am going to get those variable int n comma, we will take same name, there is no problem, int a comma b. Understood? So inside it what I am going to do, I am just going to swap those two variables. So how we are going to swap that? For swapping, first we need one temporary variable to store one variable, right? So int temp I am taking, in that I am storing this a value, right? And then I am storing b value in a, and then in b I am going to store temp. So don't worry, we will explain, okay? So just try to understand. So this is the code to swap two variables, right? So now the swap is done. We will print one statement, okay? So then you can understand the swap is done. Swap is done. Understood? So what here it's supposed to do? So first what this code explain I am telling. So int temp, right? Temp equal to a equal to b, b equal to temp, right? This is our swapping code. So first I am taking a equal to 10, b equal to 20, right? B equal to 20. So first what is happening here? In temp I have stored a value, that is 10, right? So 10 will be stored in that temp. And what I am storing in A? In A I am storing B, that is 20, right? Then in my third line what I am storing? Temp. In temp what we have? We have 10, right? So now what we have? In A, if we print in A, we have 20, in B we have 10. So that's it. This is how the swapping code works. Understood? So we are using third variable and we are going to swap it. You can use single variables and you can swap. Understood? So here the swapping should be done, right? So if we run this, wait, we will run the new. See, it is asking me input, I am giving 10 and then 20. So see, before swap also it is like 10 and 20. And then see, in center swap is done. The function is works correctly. The swap function is works correctly only. The swap is done. See, after swapping also we have got 10 and 20. Okay. So what is happening here? So first we will command this line. Okay. So I will print this A and B here itself, in that void function itself. Let's see what is happening here. So if I run this, 10 and then 20. So see, here we have before swap 10 and 20 and swap is done. After swap we have got 20 and 10 correctly. How it is? So, I already said you, this variable will have access up to this block of code only, right? So, here we are passing the A and B only. Here also we are getting those A and B value only. So, what is happening here means, when we are getting this int A and B, the argument we passed here, it will create one new variable in the heap memory and it will swap that variable. This variable is not swapping. This AB is not swapping. This C and B is swapping. Understood? So for the better understand, you can write the different variable name. Understood? Here it will create one new variable in the heap memory and it will swap those variables. Understood? So our original variable will not swap, it will stay like that only. So see, in this block of memory code, if we printed those n and m, we will get the swap is done. Understood? So see, I am running it again. So I am giving 10 and then 20. See, here we have got before swap 10 and 20, swap is done. After swapping 20 and 10. So it is different value and this AN value is different value, right? So when we are passing this variable, we need to pass this address also. So I am passing it address, right? I am passing the address of my A and B to that function. So how that function parameter will get this address? Using the pointers, right? So using the pointers, it will get those address into it. Understood? So here we are going to write the value of that n address, right? Then value of n and then value of m. Value of m and then temp. Understood? Now if we comment this line and we run this, so see, now we have got, wait, let me run in news. So see, I am giving 30 and then 50. See, now the swap is done in our main variable itself. So see, what is happening here? I have commented this function printf, right? I have printed here itself. So what will happen? Here now it will not create one new variable. Understood? This will not create new variable. So this will swap the variable in our main A and B itself. So here we are passing the address. So it will go to that address and it will swap those values. So the star represent value, right? So when we pass the address, so it will get those value in this star n. Then we are taking that value and we are changing. So the pointer uses here, right? We are going to pass it by address. We are passing it by address and the function is taking it as reference, right? So it is the reference of that A and B. This n and m is a reference variable of that A and B. This n and m stores the address of A and B and then it is swapping them. Understood? I hope you understood this. If you have any doubt, let me see in the comments. Right? I hope you understood how we are passing the address and how we are getting those value and how we are swapping it. Understood? So now we will move on to the our next. So next we will see pointers and function. So we will see some pointers that returns the function that returning the pointer. So see here we have seen that we are passing it by address and it is get true reference, right? Now we will see one function that returns the pointer, like function pointer. So now we will see the function that returns the pointer, right? So first we want one function. I am just going to take int print. So here it will return the pointer, right? So it will return the pointer. So print without arguments. Then I am going to take one static variables int a equal to 10. Then we are going to return the address of that a. So first let me write the main function. So what will happen here? So in one new variable I am storing that value, right? So result equal to print, and I am going to print those value in it. So what is happening here? So we are going to return in it pointer, right? Data type is pointer. So why I am returning here address a? Why I am writing a static? So if you don't write the static and then you are returning, so without static, if you return this address of a, it will goes to the null pointer, right? So when the data type is pointer and when we are returning it like without the static, it will points to the null character, right? And it will give some garbage address to it. So static means what? It cannot changeable, right? So it is a static variable. So when we use static variable, so without static variable, if you return the address of that a, it will point to the null pointer. Understood? Now it will goes to this result and it will print a. So first we will run this. So see here we have got some garbage value. Why? Because we need to get this result in the pointer, right? So we are have data type as pointer, right? So here also we should be print in pointer. Understood? So see here we have got 10. So when you are passing the function using pointer data type, you should use static variables. Understood? So if you have any doubts, please let me see in the comments. So I hope you understood this pointers and function and the return data type as a function. So we will see more example using this return type, okay? So don't get confused. So now we are going to solve some questions in this pointer, okay? So now we will solve some questions using this pointer, okay? So first, what we are going to do, our first question is, pointer starts from the middle of an array. So scenario is an integer array is given. A pointer is initialized to the given index element of the array. So use this pointer, the program prints consecutive elements. So see, we have some sample inputs. So here we have array like 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. And we have one starting point that our pointer should start from that point, right? Then from that pointer we need to print our element. So see, we have explanation. The pointer does not start at beginning. Pointer arithmetic access element relative to the starting point. So we have the pointer start at index 2. So then it will start from this and it will print the whole array. Understood? So pause the video and try it yourself. Now we are going to do code for it. So I am creating one file, program1.c as include stdio.h int main and then return 0, right? So first what we need to do, we need size of our array, right? So for that I am going to get those size, right? Then we want one array and I am initialize with my size, right? Then I am going to write one printing statement, enter the elements, right? Then using for loop we are going to get those array elements. I hope you know how to get array elements from the user input. Then array of I, right? So don't forget ampersand symbol. Then we need to get one index value where the pointer is started, right? So scanf %d and then the index, right? So before that I am writing one printing statement, enter the starting pointer index, right? So what is our task? We need to start our pointer after that index value, right? So for that, for int my I should be start from that index, that is that our pointer index. Then I should be less than size, then I plus plus, right? Then what I am going to print? We are going to print %d and then what we are going to do? First we need to initialize one pointer variable to our array, right? Then only we can access those elements. So don't forget to initialize the pointer. Now we are just going to print the value. For that, star and then p plus what I am going to write here? I. So what will happen here? If I give the index as 3, the I will be start from 3, right? So p plus 3, it will move to the third memory location in our array and it will start printing from that. So see, if I give my array element 1, 2, 3, 4 and then 5, 6, 7, okay? If I enter this index as 2, so from second index, that is 2 is right. So our pointer will be start from 0th index. And if I start from this second index means now p plus 2, it will come to this memory location and it will print this whole array. Okay, we will run this. So So I'm giving a 7. Somewhere we mention, see, we have forgot here ampersand symbol. So again we will run this. I'm running and I'm giving 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we need to enter the starting point index. I am giving 3. It should start from 4. So see, we have got here 4, 5, 6, 7. Understood? So this is how we are going to print those elements using pointer. So I hope you understood this question. So try it yourself. So we will move on to the next question. So what we have here, our second scenario is partial array modification using pointer. So we have question like a pointer is passed to a function along with the array size. The function multiplies only the array element at even position by 2. The updated array is printed. Right? So see, here we have array element in the even index 0, 2, then 4. It is multiplied by 2. See here our sample input 2, then 3 into 2 6, then 5 into 2 10. The pointer traverses the array but modifies value selectively using position logic. So what we are going to do, first we are going to find the even index position by modulus operator and we are going to multiply it by 2. Understood? So create one function for that. So stop the video and try it yourself. We are going to code for that. So this is our problem 2, right? So as include stdio.h int main and then return 0. And then we are going to create one function like I am creating void even, and what we are going to get we will see. So now for that first we need one size, right? Then scanf size. Then we need to initialize one array with that size. Using for loop we are going to get those elements. Scanf and then %d and then ampersand symbol array of I, right? So we have got array elements. So now what we are going to do, we are going to pass this array in our function. So even and then we are going to pass our array, right? So in my even I am going to get that array, right? So inside that what we are going to do, we are going to find the even index position and we are going to multiply it by 2. So first I am taking for int I equal to 0. Let me pass the size also because we need to know the size there, right? So int size. Then I should be less than my size. Why I am passing size? Because up to this code only the size will be callable. When we create another function, the size cannot be called by this function. It will only exist in this block of code. I want my size in this function, so I am sending to this function. Understood? Then I++. So first we need to initialize one pointer with my array, right? So now what we are going to do, we are going to check if my I modulus 2 equal to 0. So what we are going to do? We are going to multiply it by, right? So value of p equal to value of p into 2, right? Understood? So in value of p means what it will get if my I is 2, right? So we should write like this. So value of p plus I into equal to 2, right? So basically what this line means, so it will get the value at p plus I, that is if my I is 2, the memory location will goes to the second index memory allocation and it will get that value and equal to star p plus I into 2. It will do operation like this. So if my value is 10, okay, take 10. So it will replace here 10 and it will multiply into 2 and then it will print. So this is void no, so we need to print the array elements here. Size I plus plus and then print percentage d. Here we can use pointer also. I already said you, right? Star p plus I. Okay. So now we will see the output. What our code is. So if I run this, so I have missed some comma here. So try to read your errors also. So first I am giving my size as 5 and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. So I think we can print one printf like final array because that is look clumsy. So I am running this. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So see the final array is 2, 2, 6, 4, 10. So 1 is multiplied by 2, 3 is multiplied by 2, 5 is multiplied by 2. Understood? See we have got 2, 2, 6, 4, 10. Understood? I hope you understood this. We are just changing our even index element to multiple it. We can use simply array like here we can use array of I equal to array of I into 2. So this will also give the same input, but here we are going to use pointer. Okay. So don't get confused in between this star and between this star. Okay. This is for multiplication and this is for pointing the value. Understood? So this is our code for our second problem. Okay, so now we will move on to our third problem. That is pointer travels stop earlier. So what is our question? A pointer travels an array and stop when it encounters a value greater than 50. The sum of value before stopping is printed. So what is the question here? We have the array inputs like 10, 20, 30, 60, 40. And what is our question says? The pointer travels should be stopped when the value is greater than 50. Until that, sum the value. then print that sum, right? So we are going to create one function and we are going to traverse our array, and if my array of element is greater than 50, just stop there itself and count the sum before that. So first let me tell you. So stop the video and try it yourself. So as include stdio.h int main, right? Return 0. So what we are going to do? We are going to add it, right? First we want size. Scanf %d and then size, right? Don't forget to write ampersand symbol. Then int array. So we will initialize our array with size, right? So then we need to get input from user. For int I equal to 0, I less than size I plus plus. Then scanf %d and then address of array of I, right? You can use here also pointer, right? But you practice with this only, okay? So now we will create one function void, and then what's our question says? We need to sum until the element that is greater than 50. So I will get array, right? I will get array and then size. So here I am passing the sum array comma size, right? So now inside it, what will we have? First we need to initialize our pointer equal to array. So without initializing, how we are going to get the pointer by value? So now initializing the sum variable to sum the elements in the array. Then for int I equal to 0, I less than size, I plus plus, and then what we are going to check? If my pointer of p plus I is greater than 50, then break, right? Then break the loop itself. Otherwise, just add star of p plus I. Star of p plus I. It is same like sum plus or equal to array of I. Okay, nothing is changed. Just we are going to use pointer and it is incrementing to the next memory location. That's it. Okay. So finally we are going to print those function. Understood? So if we run this, here we forgot to write int. So don't forget the single name also, otherwise you will get error. Okay. So I'm giving 5 and then 30, 50, 30, 40, 40, then 50 and then 30, 40. So here the program will stop here itself, right? So until that, what is our sum? 30, 70, 110. So here how we are getting 200, 30, then 70, then 110, then 50, then 40. Here we should give equal to also. Then only it will not check for greater than 50. Understood? So here we given just greater than 50. It will not it will check the condition like 50 greater than 50. The condition become false, right? Then it will add the whole the array. So if you don't want to include this 50 also, just give if the p plus I is greater than or equal to 50. Then stop there itself. Now we will run this. 5, 40, 40, 30, 20 and then 60. Now what will happen? 40 plus 40, 80, 110 and then 130. So see, we have got 130. Understood? The program will stop when it reaches this 60. Understood? So this is our code for our third problem. So see, why we are returning the function in void, why we are not using any return type. So when you use this return type in pointers, so basically we cannot return array in local variables, right? So we need to use pointers to return array from the function. So if we want to return the array, you need to use pointer, but you cannot return it directly. You need to initialize your array in static and then you need to return those array. So we don't need that much struggles. So for that I am taking it as void. Okay. So first start practicing like this itself, like void and then use pointer in it. So you will see in upcoming classes using pointer, return type, that and that. Okay. So don't worry. Start from simple itself. So this is our code for our third problem. So up to these three problems we have seen about array problems, right? So arrays and pointers. Now we will see some strings problem, right? So some string problem using this pointer. So now our fourth question is pointer stop at first vowel, right? So we have some scenario question. A pointer is used to traverse a string from the beginning. Traversal stops when the first vowel is found, right? When the first vowel is found. The program prints the number of characters skipped before the vowels. So see, we have one string C R Y P T O G R A P H Y. So here the output will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it skips the 5 character, then our output will be 5. Okay. Here there are some printing mistake. So our output will be 5. So it will stop when our first vowel is occurred, right? Up to that we need to count how many character we have left. So same like we have submit in array, like same that. So we are going to create one folder problem 4.c and then as include std.io.h, then int main, return 0. So first what we want, we are going to, so first we need to declare a string, right? So character str of 100, then we are going to get those input. So scanf, you can use scanf also because we are going to get only one single word, right? So otherwise we can use f gets. Okay. Then address of str, right? Then we need to initialize one pointer to point to the string. So for string also, the string variable name is constant. You don't need to write your address. Okay. So I am taking another variable, that is count, to count the vowels. Sorry, to count the characters, that is start from the before the vowels. Okay. So what we are going to do here? So first, while my p is not equal to null character, because string has null character at last, right? So up to this while will be running, right? So what we are going to do? If s vowel, we are going to create one function that is vowel, and we are going to pass this star p in it. If it is vowel, right, just break the loop. Otherwise what we are going to do? We are going to increase the count, right? And then we are going to increase our p, that is increment, because we need to traverse through this string, right? We need to go to the next memory location. So next we are going to create one function that returns the integer, because 0 means false, 1 means true, right? So it's vowel, and what we are getting here? We are getting one character, right? So character like n star, because we are getting in it pointer, right? So if my character n equal to a, or we will return here itself. Okay, we can write like this also. So if it is a e I o u, then for caps a e I o u. So a e I o u, then a e I o, and then u. Right? So here we don't need if, just this one line is enough. If my n is any of this, just return me 0 or 1. So if it is false, it will return 0. If it is true, it will return 1. Okay. So finally we are going to print our count. Right. So if we run this, so here we didn't keep the semicolon. So here we are using character, right, that is string. So pointer also should be string, and then here we are just checking our address of the p. Here we will get those value, because here we have written star, right? So this character will return the address and this character will get those value. And we are going to increment the address, not our value. So now if we run this, we will not get any errors. I think so. So if we run this, I have got 0. Why? Because at first it will stop in the I itself. So again if we run this, I am giving C programming. It will start at O, I think so. Right, C. CPR it is counting, right? So I hope you understood this. So this is our code for our fourth problem. If you have any doubts, let me see in the comments. I hope you understood this code. See, we are getting the string input and we are storing in it character pointer because strings are character, right? Collection of characters. So we need to store in character pointer. And we are checking the while should be run up to it reaches the null character. And here in our function we are sending the address. So P means it stores the variable stores the address, right? Here we are getting those values. And we are checking if it is any of them, just return true, that is 1. If not, just return false. Understood? So now we will move on to our next problem. So what we have? Modify string using pointer offset. So a pointer points to the first character of the string. Every odd character at an odd index is placed with the star. The updated string is printed. Understood? See, we have one input pointer. In every odd index, it should be replaced with stars, right? So we will code this. So as include stdio.h int main and then return 0. So first what we want? First one string, right? str of array 100 and then scanf. I am here also using scanf because there is single line only, right? Then ampersand symbol str. You can use scanf only if the input is just one word. Just one word without any space. If you want the input with space, please use fgets. Then I am going to initialize one pointer, not int, it should be char. The pointer data type and our variable data type should be same, okay? Please note that. And what we are going to do? We are going to initialize one index to count the index value. So while my star p of I is not equal to my null character, run my loop up to that, right? So if the index modulo 2 equal to 1 for checking the odd index, right? This is what we are going to do. Star of p plus index equal to star, that is character star. Understood? We are changing that value. And what we are going to do? Just increment the address and just increment the index value. So what will happen? So finally we are going to print that strings, right? So what will happen here? So if I write here pointer, so first the index will be 0, right? So it will check the p is not equal to null character. that is true, it will goes inside this if condition. Then the index value is now 0. It will check 0 modulus 2 equal to 1 or not. No, it is false. Then it will not change that value. It will just increment the address to move on to the next address, and it will increase the index value. And now the index will become 1, right? So now it will check 1 modulus 2 equal to 1 or not. Yeah, obviously the remainder is 1. Then it will change that to this star. Understood? So this is how this program will run. So wait, let me see the output. So pointer, see, pointer. Why we didn't got anything at the hard index? So see, we are not getting in our odd index. So what is the problem here? So the pointer will be always incrementing, right? So here we don't need to increment it. We are just going to change it in the address where it has been placed, right? So now if I run this, so pointer, we will get, see, our correct input. Sorry, correct output. So if I run this pointer, so see, P star I star T star R. So while you are writing, check the code you have written. Okay, so try to read those errors. So I hope you understood this problem. If you have any doubt regarding this question, we have solved today. So don't hesitate to ask any doubt. Let me see in the comments. So thank you for listening. So we will see in our new video. Please subscribe for more videos.